All right, guys, so today's video is really fun. So what I did was I basically went and put this question up on my IG story as, my entire channel, my coaching program, the whole 9 yards. Basically, the entire goal and point of it is to help 4, 5, and 6-figure organic dropshippers scale. On my Instagram, there's plenty of guys that are actively doing organic dropshipping. So I actually originally put this question up to get a good YouTube video idea, like just from one of the questions. But then I realized me actually going over these questions would be an awesome YouTube video, because I'm sure a lot of you watching this have these exact same questions and would definitely benefit by getting them answered from a 7-figure organic dropshipper. And not only have I made over $1 million in lifetime rev, but as it is now currently July of 2026, I have averaged around $46,000 a month in revenue the entire year. And so just to be completely transparent with you guys, I'm literally just going to show you the few stores I'm currently running year to date. So here's this first store that's done 130K. And I started it in March. Hopefully you guys see that. Here's a second store that's been hitting since Q4 that's already done 150-ish K year to date. And here's a store I basically started at the beginning of this month that's already at 6K in rev. Let me make sure you're able to see that. And since I'm on my phone actually, so you can value even more of what I say, I'm gonna mosey on over to my own Instagram where I post a lot of results for Per Mill's Advanced program, which is my organic dropshipping coaching program that just so happens to be the highest level of coaching that exists within the space. And so just in case you needed any more reason to take my advice, I'm just gonna rapid fire really quick through like 2 months of results from students within the program. And these are just the ones I remember to post. This is truly maybe like 70% of the actual results inside the program. Here we have Tristan with back-to-back 8K days. Then we have Viet, 20K in 2 days, 90K month for Bray, 1 and 2K days for 2 different students, basically at the exact same time, a 15K day for Austin, 2K days for Neo, literally like 3 weeks after joining the program, car bought from the program, another crazy day, 6K day for Austin, another car within the same month bought from the program, 4K days for Matthew, a 10K day for Nanad, 13K day for Sam, back-to-back 70K months for Austin, back-to-back 90 and 70K months for Bray, another car bought from the program, and then my most recent story highlight from 1 day ago was Vlad with a 5K day. I think we get the point. And also keep in mind, every single one of those guys joined at a few $1,000s in lifetime rev. 50K in lifetime rev. 1 or 2 of those students joined at 1 or 200K in lifetime rev, already at 6 figures. I showed you my dashboards and all of those results to get you to understand and realize this is literally what I do. I take a more advanced approach to organic that's specifically catered to help people who are actively doing organic and already found a little bit of success with organic and help them find more success with organic compared to, most YouTube videos you see out there that are all super beginner oriented. So now that that's out of the way and you realize you've made it home and you're at the right place, let's get into some of these questions. So I'm gonna just pick basically like the best 3 or 4 questions just so this video isn't forever long, but I'm gonna pick the most valuable that'll have the most valuable answers. So first question from Gene is getting a new product to get viral like quick or within a week. So actually that third store I showed you that's already done 6K that I basically just started at the beginning of this month, I was only posting for about 9 days before it started hitting, and you see what it's starting to do now. And I would say the biggest reason for that is my niche and content research. So for every single product I start, I approach them all basically the exact same way. And that's just super deep niche and content research, but also competitor research. So when it goes to starting a new product, the very best thing for you to do that I feel like a lot of people don't do, like they only do one or the other instead of doing all 3, is basic content research. And the main way I do that is first, any and all competitors, because if you're approaching content how you should be, which is at like a data-driven level, right, when it comes to like IG and Facebook, then that means you know that every single winning audio your competitor is using, or even products that are similar to the product that you're running, which I'm gonna get into that in a second, you realize every single asset of every viral video they have is an asset that has a high probability of working for your account. So very first thing I'm doing is scraping up my 2 to 3 biggest competitors, just basically looking at, okay, what's their few most recent viral videos? And I'm making sure I'm taking all of their winning text hook themes, all of their winning audios, and especially that basic visual. And what I mean by basic visual is what they're recording from beginning to end of the video outside of text hook and audio. And I'm throwing all those into a bucket, saying those are mine now. These are winning assets that can hit for my account. As I'm doing that, I'm also going to similar products and stealing all of those as assets for my own content, no different than if they were running the exact same product as me. So what I mean by that is, like, let's say I'm running a gimmicky product, right? First one that comes to mind is the gun keychain, right? If I was running the gun keychain, other things I would look at that are kind of within the same vibe, although totally not the same product, is maybe something like the wand card holder. Maybe even then like the goofy, inappropriate apron that some of you may know what I'm talking about. But regardless, I'm looking at these other products that, sure, they're not even close to the same product. They're not even in the same niche, but they're the same vibe of a product. If it's a gimmicky product, I'm looking for other winning gimmicky products and other big accounts running gimmicky products. If it's a product that's kind of somewhat music oriented, I'm not just looking for one specific artist or one specific style of music. I'm looking at any and all music products. So that approach, I feel like, is kind of the biggest one. That's where I see people lack the most, is like they're always like, let me look up hashtags for my exact niche and only look at my competitor that's running the exact same product. But where most of the actual gold actually comes from is looking at all of your competitors that are running any and all products that have the same vibe as yours. And so then I'm grabbing my basic visuals from my main competitors, and then I'm using the different assets like the winning text hook themes and winning audios that come from all the bigger accounts that are running products that are within a similar vibe of mine. And then essentially just, I wouldn't say split testing, even though split testing is like a broad term, but almost, yeah, like split testing all of these different assets I have. So I'll take my main visual from my competitor. That way I don't even have to use my own brain. And he probably has 2 or 3 different visuals that he's done for the product. I'll just start out with those mainly, and then just 2 to 3 videos within this winning text hook theme I found from this account, and then 1 or 2 audios from this account. Bang, that's the first 1 or 2 days of posts. Then I'll move on to these 2 winning text hook themes, but maybe stick with just 1 audio on those few text hook themes. There's no perfect way to go about it. I'm essentially just finding all these winning assets in that way I just explained to you, and then putting them together to see how fast I can get any form of outlier. I'm not just looking for a straight up viral video. I'm looking for, okay, if every video I'm posting is doing 2.5K views and then I get an 8K view video, I'm immediately dissecting that video and then kind of focusing more on those winning assets, if that makes sense. And I would say that is going to give you the highest probability of having a product hit really quickly after you start running it. So second question, Matt says, product selection. When I test order and it converts 7 to 10K per mil, but then I run it and it's 2K per mil. So the answer to this is really simple. Basically, the answer is what most people aren't thinking of, and it leaves you confused like Matt. So understand it this way. There's like 5 different variables that can go into this exact scenario, or why you may be test ordering a product and then when you run it, it's not doing anything like that. Number 1 is you test ordered the main guy running it, and the first few million views he got with that product is so untapped and such like basically the perfect audience for that product that it just so happened to convert really high. As this is what happens with a lot of products. They'll convert really high in the beginning and then they'll do like 10 million views and then they'll settle out at their like actual average, per million conversion. Second thing is recycled stores. So you could go test order somebody and they've recycled that store, not even just once, but maybe 2, even 3 times. And so it looks like with that exact product, they've been ripping orders, but really all of those orders were from 2 or 3 other products that they've been running over the span of a few months. So that completely misconstrues the data when it comes to trying to actually find out what a product converts at. And I would say the third kind of main thing that will make you run into this issue is lower converting content or just like a worse audience. So, your competitor could be running a product and you don't even know it, but he's hitting like 80% US. And then you just so happen to go viral, even if it's with all the same assets as him, same audio, same text hooks, same basically content itself, but your account just so happens to hit 40% US audience. And so boom, literally mathematically, you just cut the conversions of that product per mil in half. But then on the other side of that, if you don't understand content at a systematic level, which you should if you actually want to be making big boy numbers with organic, and you're just picking up a product, filming a bunch of random videos, doing a bunch of random content, your content could convert a lot lower than your competitor's content, where maybe you're doing something with the product where it has a lower perceived value. Maybe he's doing a CTA at the end of his video and you're not. Maybe literally just even the quality and the look and the crispiness and the lighting of his video gives just that 1% more trust to viewers that keeps his conversion per mil higher than yours. Okay, now moving on to the third question from Carol, finding long-term products. So I think this one's actually a lot more of kind of mindset and perception sort of thing than it is like you're going to need a strategy on it. A lot of people think that most products only have this certain amount of time that they'll be able to, be ran, or if it converts lower, it'll only last this long, or a lot of things I hear from, even just on one-on-one calls with guys inside Per Mill's advanced program is, how much do you think this product will do? Like, do you think this product could do 100K? Do you think this product could do 300K? Do you think I could run this for 6 months? Any and all products can do 100K or any amount of revenue or last any amount of time. It's just up to you if you take them there, literally. Essentially, the answer to that is just by consistently getting more and more views. How you would do that is just a good content strategy. And then as that content strategy starts to die out, you continue to reiterate and reiterate. And of course, having a primed IG and or a primed Facebook and Facebook, having both, of course, that'll get you there much faster and much more long term. But any product you run can do that. Just because a product may seem more gimmicky or seem like it's not, I don't know what it is. It's like everybody has this weird perception of like some products they just think are like pump and dumps, which some truly are. Like mainly what I'm referring to is like seasonal products. At that point, okay, then that question can come into play. But for almost any and every product outside of seasonal products, they are long-term products. So I think really the best thing to answer this question is you need to just remove your limiting belief of thinking that certain products can only run for a certain amount of time and realize and understand virtually any and every product you pick up can be a long-term product. Okay, I had to get a drink of water. I'm doing a lot of talking here. But moving on to our next question from Matty, who says, I made $600K, but I'm still struggling with consistency. I can't make that $50K month. Now, I think truly the biggest thing that comes to consistency with organic is actually two things. One of them you're totally not going to expect. First one is understanding content at a systematic level, like being able to dial in IG and Facebook and stop with this whole like, oh, I just make good content, and all of your content is so random. Like sometimes you'll try a little bit with like you'll try to say, okay, this video performed well. Let me take the text hook from that and put it on this video. Or, sometimes like you try to have like a direction to go with your content, but for the most part, most of you literally still approach organic, even those of you at 600K lifetime rev. We just had a new student join the program like 2 or 3 days ago. He's at 500K lifetime rev. The very first thing I do with every single new student that joins the program is me and him hop on a one-on-one call and go over a game plan. Like, hey, here's exactly what we're going to do moving forward from now to get to X, Y, and Z result. And with that being said, first thing we kind of go over is like, okay, what is every little thing you're doing right now? I'm looking at accounts, I'm looking at their products, I'm looking at rev, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And even my boy Eric, the student I was referring to that joined the program just a few days ago at 500K lifetime rev, that I know is literally a good organic dropshipper. He's been doing this for years. I've technically known him, or at least known of him, for a while. And both of the Instagram accounts of his that I looked at on that first call were exactly like what I just explained, even with him being at such a high lifetime rev. Just straight up random content. Sure, some of it was doing really well. One account had a really good amount of followers, and there was plenty of like 1 million, 2 million, 3 million view vids, but it was this very up and down sort of like, a week ago he does 3 million views. A week or two goes by, then he does 1 million views. And in between that, every video is doing like 10 and 20K views because he's sitting there and just still in that mindset, even at the lifetime rev he's at of just post good content. I'm going to make good content. Instead of systematically approaching his content and using the data from his account to keep replicating every good thing and every good asset that account loves. And if he would have been approaching this IG account like at this systematic level this entire time instead of the way he was, not only would he be doing dramatically less work, because once you actually approach it systematically, you end up filming majority of the same 2 or 3 visuals every single day. You don't have to use much of your headspace because you're using these same few winning text hook themes, once again, data pulled out of that account to do this, and the same 2 or 3 audios. So you're not using nearly the same amount of mental bandwidth and not sitting there spending hours trying to come up with this next new video, get this new perfect angle and this new perfect clip and this so on and so forth. And he probably would be at 2 to 3x the revenue that he's done with that product. Second thing is mindset. I'm not kidding. I just made a big YouTube video, dude, I think it was like 45 minutes or something like that, all about mindset and how much that dramatically affected my business, my life, how much that dramatically affected all the insane results we get inside the program now. And I feel like the second biggest thing outside of what you can physically do with, the data-driven content is truly believing you can stay consistent. Truly removing all these limiting beliefs that enter your subconscious through all the content you watch, thinking that it's impossible to do X, Y, and Z numbers per month, or, little things like thinking every product has a certain time that it dies out. All of these little tiny things that build up are the reason everyone thinks it's virtually impossible to stay consistent with organic dropshipping. But the moment you remove all of these and truly just decide to believe and understand that you can and will do whatever number it is you're wanting to do, only then will you actually have the ability to do it. And you may be responding to what I'm saying like, oh, I do think that way. I do know I can make X, Y, and Z amount of money. But yet, you know everything about organic. You're probably at 50K lifetime rev, 100K lifetime rev, maybe even multi six figures lifetime rev, but yet you're still not at the result you want to be. Don't you think it may be something outside of knowledge or some strategy you don't know about? Just some fruit for thought. But regardless, guys, if you're watching this video and you're like my boy Maddie here, who's already at 600K lifetime rev, or maybe you're even at 100K lifetime rev, or even 50K lifetime rev, 4K lifetime rev, and you want to get to bigger numbers, you want to actually scale your organic dropshipping business, then I'm going to leave a link down below in the description of this video that will lead you to an application to join my advanced organic dropshipping program, where we only work with 4, 5, and 6-figure organic dropshippers to help you make what we like to call big boy money with organic. We help you turn organic into, instead of this super up and down limbo, one good month, a few dry months, so on and so forth. You all know how it goes. And we help you turn it into an actual consistent business that you can rely on and feel good about. Because I know some of you watching this had a lot of these same questions and probably a lot more that you just simply can't get answered from a random YouTube video, and you definitely can't get answered from looking it up. You need actual help, actual guidance from somebody that truly knows what they're doing. And that's what we can offer you. That's the entire reason that Per Mill's Advanced program exists. We do this for you by coaching you one-on-one with a group of 7-figure organic dropshippers, some of the best organic dropshippers in the space. Through us, you get 3 to 4 one-on-one calls with me personally, where I'm actively helping you make decisions inside of your business, content strategy, what product to run, what product to not run, so on and so forth. And not only that, but you get unlimited calls with 2 other 7-figure organic dropshippers. And then on top of that, just to make sure we're there every single day, consistently making sure you're doing all the right things at the right time in your business, you get your entire group of coaches in a 24/7 WhatsApp group chat. And with all of that hands-on coaching, you're also getting me hand-picking guaranteed winning products for you based on your own product research. Meaning the moment you join the program, you know that every single product you run will convert at whatever I tell you it converts at. On top of that, you get access to Per Mill Advanced Programs community, which is home to some of the highest earning organic dropshippers in the space. Plus access to all my resources, all my teams that I personally use inside of my own organic dropshipping business. The list goes on and on. I don't think you need much of an explanation to see how much it would help you to have people that know what they're doing guide you and help you make decisions for your organic business. So with that being said, I'm going to leave that link down below in the description of this video. It's going to lead you to an application just so I can get a little bit of information on where you're currently at with organic. And then after you fill out that application, you'll have the option of either booking a one-on-one call with me personally, not some random sales guy. You'll be talking with me one-on-one personally. Or if calls aren't your thing, your second option is you can actually message my personal phone number. And from there, we'll just talk about everything you're currently doing with your organic business, where some of your struggles are at, and how the coaching program might be able to help you. And if we are able to help you, well, then you'll be getting inside of the program. But with all that being said, I hope, a lot of the answers to these questions answered a lot for those of you watching and helps you get at least one step closer to making big boy money with organic.